So first of all, asked by protein modeling. As a UC student, my fees have been increased last semester and are expected to continue to climb. Should the students of the UCs bear more of the cost of their education? What's the best way to make our three-tiered higher education system, UCs, CSUs, and community colleges, fiscally solvent?
Well, you've got to stop these dramatic budget cuts. And I don't want to create a contrast and get particularly political here, but let's have an honest discussion in the context of this lieutenant governor's race. You have a current lieutenant governor that was literally the key vote for the biggest education cuts in history, that directly were responsible for the fee increases at CSU and UC, 32% cumulatively at the UC system. Of course, he supported the 2004 budget that also increased the fees at community colleges. So it's a very easy question to answer. Stop the draconian cuts from the state. Then you don't put pressure on the regions and the board to increase fees to make up for those cuts. It is absolutely counter to fiscal prudency, economic growth, and competitive advantage to continue down this spiral of pricing out disproportionately lower income, middle class, and working families. Here's why. Cal grants, particularly with the expansion of the Pell Grant system under the Obama administration, it's been helpful. Helps very low income. But it's folks like our mother, single mother with 2 kids, renting a home, rent an apartment at 71 Toledo Way in San Francisco, that wants to send her kids to school, that can't get those grants because she just makes just enough money, but not enough to send their kids to education system, higher education. And that's who we're pricing out, and it's been devastating, and it's just got to stop. So the answer is rather simple. I don't want to oversimplify it. I mean, it's probably more complicated.
Where does the money?
What's a question?
Where is that money made up?
It's a question of priority. What do you value? We had to make tough choices in our budget. What do we value? Universal preschool, universal after school, arts education, every child, every classroom, K through 12, fully funded. Guarantee 4-year college education, SF Promise, K through 12 or K through college with these new baby counts, sending over rainy day reserve to the school district, offset state cuts. Went after grants. We're going to announce some big grants we got from the big foundations. What do you value? It's as simple as that. I had a $522.2 million budget shortfall on a $1.2 billion discretionary budget, back to the point I was trying to make a moment ago. We have a $6.55 billion budget, but $1.2 billion is truly discretionary. You want a problem? San Francisco had a problem. The state of California had a problem like that. Yet we didn't cut in those areas because we value those things. So it's a question of what you value. It's as simple as that. That's all budgeting is. I know it sounds sort of, I'm not trying to oversimplify it, but I don't want to overcomplicate it because I think we wildly overcomplicate. Universal health care in San Francisco, how possibly can a city do this? It simply can't be done. No city had ever done it. We had a $347 million budget deficit then. We did it because we came up with a better idea, came up with a different framework, and we drew down over $70 million of federal money. The money's there for higher education. It's what you value.
Mr. Mayor, where in the state budget is there fat to cut where this money can be?
There's thousands and thousands of small decisions. There was plenty of places in our own budget, but it took me 9 months to get there. Here's my point.
There's a $19 billion shortfall in the next 2 years. That's
Yeah,
a lot of money.
well, but you gotta have an apple-to-apple comparison. You gotta look at it in percentage terms. What's the corpus? What's the overall general fund budget? It's over $85 billion. So it's, and the discretionary budget is obviously smaller than that, but it's still substantial. So one of the biggest budgets in the world, one of the largest economies in the world. My point of saying this is you've got to get creative and you make decisions. How did we balance our budget? It was thousands of small decisions. We reduced overtime, we workers' comp, reduced the size of our workforce, got wage concessions. We dealt with waste and duplication. We reduced the size of our vehicle fleet, dealt with the issue of cell phones and pagers, renegotiated contracts, professional service contracts, looked at new strategies of financing our capital plans, looked at more federal dollars, looking at leveraging dollars. We had money through the Department of Children, Youth, and Family where we could have gotten federal matches if that same program was being administered through our Department of Public Health. We reduced the number of city departments, reduced the number of commissions. There were literally thousands of decisions. That's managing to solve problems. So you ask me how to solve the budget? Give me 6-9 months. Give me the tools to do it. Give me my department heads. Give me my independent folks. And give me the opportunity to get in. And I'm not saying we'll get there. These are huge numbers. I'm with you. But I can tell you what I value is higher education. And I've valued it my entire life. It's the reason I'm here. And what I value as mayor has been education. We have some of the best partnerships in the country. And so, again, without oversimplifying it, this is an area you need to resource. Otherwise, we lose the only competitive edge we have. That's human capital. We'll never be the cheapest place to do business. With all due respect, I don't know how that's possible in California. The legacy costs are too high. But the one differentiator is we have to be, if we're not the lowest cost, we have to be the highest return in terms of the investment. We have to be the best place in terms of what we offer as a competitive advantage over other states. And that's the ability to attract the best and the brightest minds that come from the UC, CSU, and community college system, and a workforce that's trained, and a workforce that's organized around an economic development strategy that I am still bewildered doesn't necessarily exist. If I asked you what the economic development strategy of the state is, I can't find 5 people that even have a clue. And you have to at least know that, and then you got to lock your workforce development strategies to twin that, and that workforce development comes from the CSUs, the community colleges, and obviously the UCs. So to me, it's an economic issue as much as it is an issue of, quote unquote, educating young people.